The previous episode, Why You Keep Reverting, ended at a specific moment. The reversion patterns appeared, the loop kept running, the resistance escalated, and then something shifted. The old prediction loosened. The hesitation that had been there for years started to feel less automatic. The meetings where you had gone quiet became ones where you spoke before the calculation had time to run. Something that had felt structural started to feel optional. That moment is real, and it is not the end of the process. Because some people who reach that moment find that it holds. The prediction stays loosened. The new pattern becomes default. The old one fades into something that no longer has a claim on behavior. And some people find that it doesn't. Not immediately, not dramatically, but over weeks, quietly, the old pattern reasserts itself. The hesitation comes back. The contribution loop slows. The familiar pull returns. And the progress that felt real starts to feel like it might have been temporary. This is the question that the previous episode, Why You Keep Reverting, left open. Not why the reversion happened during accumulation, but why, even after a genuine threshold crossing, some changes hold and others collapse. Crossing the threshold is not the same as stabilization. They are two separate architectural events. The first loosens the prediction. The second anchors the replacement. There is a common implicit model of how change works. Old belief, new belief, the moment where the old one gets replaced. That model is wrong, and the way it is wrong explains most of what goes wrong after a threshold crossing. When enough evidence accumulates to cross the threshold, the model does not delete the old prediction and install a new one. It revises the certainty weighting of the old prediction downward. The old prediction becomes less confident, less automatically triggered, less the default interpretation of incoming data. But it does not disappear. What exists after a threshold crossing is not a new prediction in place of the old one. It is two predictions competing. The old one, weakened, less certain, but still present, still backed by years of confirming evidence. The new one, present, recently generated, but with almost no evidential foundation behind it. Think about what that actually means for the speaking/contribution loop. The prediction, people do not value what I say, has been weakened by accumulating contradiction. A new prediction has begun to form. Maybe my contributions land. Maybe this is who I can be. But that new prediction has weeks of evidence behind it. The old prediction has years. The threshold crossing creates a moment of genuine openness, but openness is not the same as stability. The new prediction exists in a state that requires active maintenance. The old prediction exists in a state that has already been maintained for years. This is the most structurally vulnerable moment in the entire process. The prediction loosened. The change feels real, and the new prediction has almost nothing holding it up yet. When a revised model collapses back, it does not feel like failure. It feels like returning to normal. The hesitation comes back and it feels familiar, correct, like remembering who you actually are. That feeling is not random. It is the model doing exactly what it is designed to do. The brain's default is not inertia. Its default is the prediction most supported by the available evidence. After a threshold crossing, the evidential landscape looks like this. The old prediction, years of consistent confirming evidence, thousands of instances across dozens of contexts, deep, broad, highly weighted. The new prediction, weeks of evidence, generated in specific contexts, not yet tested broadly, not yet internalized as pattern rather than experiment. When conditions make the prediction competition salient, a high-stakes moment, a period of depletion, a context the new evidence loop never ran in, the system defaults to the most evidentially supported prediction available. That is still the old one. The collapse is not failure. It is not regression. It is the system correctly identifying which prediction has the stronger evidential foundation and defaulting there. Collapse happens when the new prediction runs out of support before it has built enough to stand independently. The system is not being stubborn. It is being accurate about which prediction is better evidenced, which means the question is not, how do I stop the collapse? It is, how do I build the evidential foundation of the new prediction fast enough that the old one stops being the better supported default? There is a specific version of this worth naming. The person speaks up in the meeting. The conversation goes well. People respond. The room takes them seriously. Something shifts. They feel different walking out than walking in. They assume something permanent just happened. 3 weeks later, they are behaving exactly as before. What happened was not failure. What happened was mistaking contradiction for stabilization. The contradiction was real. The threshold may even have been crossed. The old prediction did loosen, but the new prediction never got built. The loop stopped generating evidence the moment the change felt real. And without a continuing source of confirming evidence, the new prediction had nothing to stand on. The loop does not stop being necessary when change feels real. That moment is not the end of the work. It is the point where the work changes character. Up to the threshold, the loop had one job: generate evidence that contradicts the old prediction. Accumulate that contradiction past the threshold the exception mechanism can hold. After the threshold, the loop has a different job. The old prediction no longer needs to be contradicted. That work is done. The certainty weighting dropped. The model opened. What the model now needs is something it does not yet have: evidence that confirms the new prediction. This sounds like a small distinction. It is not. Contradiction generating evidence says, the old prediction was wrong here. Confirmation generating evidence says, the new prediction is right here, consistently, across contexts, in situations that test it. The evidence loop is still the mechanism, but the target has shifted. The designed contradiction was aimed at weakening the old model. The stabilization loop is aimed at building the new one. Back to the speaking/contribution example. During accumulation, the loop was designed to contradict. People do not value what I say. Each instance of speaking up and being heard was evidence against that specific prediction. After the threshold, the loop needs to confirm, I am someone whose contributions land, not just demonstrate that the old prediction was wrong. Build the evidential foundation of the new prediction to the point where it can hold independently. The model is no longer trying to update from contradiction. It is trying to build from confirmation. The loop continues, but what it is generating has changed. A revised prediction stabilizes when the environment consistently provides what the new prediction needs to build on. That is an architectural condition, not a motivational one. 3 structural conditions determine whether the new prediction holds. Condition 1, continued exposure in the original context. The loop cannot stop the moment the threshold is crossed. The original context, the meetings, the conversations, the situations where the contradiction was running, must keep generating evidence. This is where most post-threshold collapses happen. The change feels real. The effort that sustained the loop relaxes. The exposure that was generating confirmation quietly drops. And without incoming confirmation, the new prediction's evidential foundation stops growing while the old one's remains intact. The environment must keep producing the original context, not indefinitely, but long enough for the new prediction to accumulate weight. The loop that crossed the threshold is the loop that stabilizes the update. It does not get retired at the threshold. It gets redirected. Condition 2. Expansion to new contexts. A prediction stabilizes when it holds across situations, not just in the one it was engineered in. Evidence generated in a single context produces a prediction that is context-dependent. The person who has built their new contribution prediction in one specific team, in one specific meeting format, has a prediction that is fragile outside that context. Put them in a different room, with different people, under higher stakes, and the old prediction has no competition in that new context. It has the evidential field to itself. Stabilization requires the new prediction to be tested and confirmed in varied contexts, not because the evidence in the original context was insufficient, but because a prediction that holds across situations is one the brain classifies differently, not as a context-specific result, but as a stable feature of who you are. A prediction stabilizes when it becomes context-independent. That requires evidence from multiple contexts, not just the one where the contradiction was designed. Condition 3. Reduced monitoring. The third condition is the one that signals stabilization has actually occurred. During accumulation, the loop required conscious maintenance. The designed contradiction was a deliberate structure. The evidence was actively registered. The reversion patterns were monitored. Stabilization begins when the new prediction stops requiring maintenance. When the behavior that the loop was producing starts happening without the loop running consciously. When speaking up in meetings stops feeling like executing a designed contradiction and starts feeling like what you do. That transition is not motivational, it is architectural. The new prediction has accumulated enough confirming evidence across enough contexts that it has become the default, the prediction the system runs without being engineered to do so. Stabilization is not the moment you decide to keep the change. It is the moment the system stops needing a decision. The new prediction runs automatically. The old one requires effort to access. The same three conditions apply across different prediction types. Consider the prediction. I am not someone who follows through. Accumulation built against it. Completion stacked up. The threshold crossed. The certainty loosened. Stabilization requires the same architecture. Continued exposure. The completion loop keeps running. New commitments, same structure, same follow-through. The new prediction keeps accumulating confirmation. Expansion. The follow-through evidence extends beyond the original domain. Not just the bounded weekly task, but projects, relationships, commitments of different sizes and stakes. Reduced monitoring. Completing things stops being an act of will against a prediction that resists it. It becomes the prediction itself. The system expects completion because completion is now what the evidence says happens. The mechanism is identical. The prediction type does not change the architecture. Let's locate this inside the arc. The series has moved through the complete process. Evidence loops established that the brain updates from patterns, not events. Regulation established the hardware gate, the first condition. Targeting established that evidence must reach the software layer, the second condition. Accumulation established that one instance is never enough, the third condition. Identity environments established that the environment is the delivery system. Designing contradictions established that you do not wait for the evidence, you engineer it. Why you keep reverting. Established that resistance is a signal of proximity, not failure. This episode adds the final layer. Crossing the threshold is not the destination. It is the beginning of a different kind of work. Before the threshold, the work is contradiction. Force the old prediction to face evidence it cannot absorb. After the threshold, the work is construction. Build the evidential foundation of the new prediction until it can hold without being maintained. Stabilization is not consolidating a victory. It is constructing a new default. The model has opened. Now it needs to be filled. The three conditions, continued exposure, expansion, reduced monitoring, are not motivational instructions. They are architectural requirements. Each one describes something the environment must keep providing for the new prediction to accumulate the weight it needs to hold. The engineering question at this stage is the same question it has always been, not, am I committed enough? But, what does the structure need to look like for the next phase of accumulation to happen automatically? The next episode closes the arc. The full system, every condition, every mechanism, every stage, applied end to a single scenario, not as theory, as a walkthrough of how the engineering actually runs. This is inner physics. We do not override the system. We learn how it works until we can engineer it.